All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Dirt Collective Facebook page here live with the Team VLR Sprint Cars. Got the X.celerated 360 Sprint Car Series presented by the Dirt Collective live on your screen right now. We're riding around with Ryan Martin as qualifying is starting to take place here at the Williams Grove Speedway, the half-mile clay oval here in the northern part of the country. And joining me tonight in the booth is, as always, Blake McCandless. And how you doing tonight, bud?
Well, I'm doing a lot better sitting here at Williams Grove with this beautiful weather. Got some clear skies, about 89 degrees, 93 track temperature out there. Doing a lot better in the virtual world than the weather right now, kind of hammering the East Coast. So glad to be here and hopefully watch some good racing that we'll get all the way through today.
Yeah, hopefully, of course. We have dropped the 410s as of last week, so it's going to be 360s from here on out. This is race number 8 of the 12 scheduled for this season, and we're trying to find, I believe we're on board with Lovey's in the 16 car as he starts his attempt at a qualifying effort in that dirt code number 16. All black car. Looking at the top of the board, though, the 70 car, Chris Brenner, on top of the scoring pylon with an 18.714. David Heileman in that 20 car with a 7.19. Lovey's does not get that first lap to count, so this is for all the marbles for him. Now we're on board with the, the 17 of Josh Phillips as he is trying to put down a quick time here.
And Josh Phillips trying to search around, find the right groove to run here at Williams Grove. There's a 19.003 down for his first lap. I think you want to pick up the pace a little bit deep in the field right now. 18.7 seems to be the fastest these guys can run. It looks like Josh Phillips trying to kind of throw it in on the load side and take a little bit of that diamond pathway into the corner.
And now on board with Bergeron, the number 12 car. As I have lost him completely. He's now 5th on the speed chart after passing the start-finish line there in that number 12 machine. Always one to watch out for here in a sprint car, actually in any of the top 3 series that VLR puts on. Of course, Chris Brenner still on top, but not for long. Alex Bergeron knocks him off the top spot. Quick time for that number 12 car.
Here he is picking up right where he left off last week. Alex Bergeron, see if he'll try to make that second lap count. I believe he brushed the inside wall there on turn 3, so he's going to have to sit there with an 18.709, but he's atop the speed charts.
Yeah, Austin Simmelman now in the 18 car. He's right around 11th on the speed chart. Ran an 8.16. Of course, Bergeron with an 18.709, 5 1/1000ths faster than Brenner, who is looking like he's going to start in that second position. Simmelman's second lap not any faster than his first lap. Now on board with the 15 of DJ Kilinowski as he's going to end his qualifying attempt. He's towards the bottom of the board. Can he improve that position? He will do it by a couple of spots, but still going to be towards the back of the pack. All cars have made a qualifying attempt here tonight, and Alex Bergeron going to take home the Quick Time Award here tonight.
And there he is. These guys getting qualifying done a little bit quicker, 7 minutes allotted, but everybody about to complete their second lap as we speak. But again, you look out front, still the same names you're accustomed to seeing here at VLR. Alex Bergeron, David Heileman, Howard Weaver, some guys that are all in the top of this field, and wish we could have kind of seen what line they're taking and where they're running on this racetrack to try to find some speed.
Yeah, of course, up here in the top 5, you got the 211 of Dan Smolders as well, as we affectionately call him here, Rocket Man from last week. If you haven't seen that already, you got to go back and watch that. That was just a spectacular crash. Heat racing is about to roll out on to the front stretch here at the Williams Grove Speedway, and it looks like we have 4 heats on tap for tonight, and probably a couple of maybe a C and a B main until we get to our feature later on tonight. But the grid for our first heat. Now on the left-hand side of your screen, we got Michael Sheridan in the 21 car going to start out of the pole position. 35 of Nick Cooper going to roll off in second. And you got the 8 of Cole Newhoffen, who's going to start in that third spot. Fourth goes to quick-time winner, the 12 car of Alex Bergeron. The 10 of Corey Zatinsky in fifth. Jason Nygaard in the double deuce going to start out of position number 6. The 24 of Ryan Martin going to start out of 7th. The 33 of Garrett Robertson in 8th. And 9th going to go to the 310 of Anthony Morano.
Well, everybody out there on Facebook Live and all these various outlets, let us know where you're watching from. Go ahead and give us a comment. Want to know where all of you are spectating this race from in the virtual form of the Williams Grove Speedway. And also, who do you think is your favorite tonight? Who are you rooting for? Who do you think is going to go to victory lane? Obviously, we know a lot of the same names are out here, but, you know, with all the action that we've seen, and we certainly saw it last week, you never know who can come up and maybe play the spoiler here tonight.
Definitely got to pay attention to that second row with Bergeron and Newhoffen after the invert starting back there in third and fourth respectively. I think we have to get around Michael Sheridan in a fast 35 car in Nick Cooper. Top 3 will advance to the feature. We got 1.5 more parade lap to go around here, and then we'll turn them loose for 10 laps of heat racing.
Yeah, and kind of what we saw earlier today, you have really fast lap times being put down, 18 seconds, only 10 laps to do it. The top 3 will automatically make it into the A main for tonight, so you don't have a whole lot of time. And we saw Alex Bergeron last week get just really an outstanding restart right at the beginning of the race, went up to the lead after lap 1. I'm sure he'll try to do the same here with this invert. He'll be starting in the 4th position.
And, of course, here at Williams Grove, we haven't had a spectacular track record as far as racing is concerned at this speedway in particular. Long straightaways, tight corners going to provide for a lot of hopefully side-by-side racing and a lot of quote-unquote drag racing as the pace car has made his way off of the racing surface for the first time tonight. Michael Sheridan looking for the flag stand. He's down and away. Green flag is out for heat number 1 here at Williams Grove. The 21 car gets a good jump over to 35 Nick Cooper. Cooper goes to the outside. Bergeron is around in the back. He has wrecked here in turn 1.
Yeah, Bergeron looks like he got a decent restart, tried to go up the middle into turn number 1, and, well, actually, he just got ran over there by the 10 car in that swave machine. He just ran right into turn 1 and really just took him out. Nothing more to say there, but Michael Sheridan taking off. He's got the lead right now.
Yeah, Nick Cooper, he wants that lead. Now working on the high side is that white number 35. The 21 car Sheridan. They're side by side at the line. 24 1,000ths of a second separate our top 2 competitors. The highlighter yellow 21 and black machine is now getting passed on the outside by that 35 of Nick Cooper. Cooper trying to take this lead, and Newhoffen in that 8 car right behind him. He wants to get that second position as well. All 3 drivers right here are in transfer positions.
They are, but look at Nick Cooper making that high side work for him, that momentum. He's able to carry down the straightaway enough to work to get him into the top spot right now. How about Newhoffen? He'll take down the second spot going by the 21, who will try to move up to the high side to try to find the success that these guys are having.
Oh, a little bump from the 21 to the back of the 8's tank right there. But Newhoffen keeps it going in the right direction, pulls a good 4 to 5 car length lead over that 21. Nick Cooper now, he's going to have some pressure from that number 8 car in just a few laps if Newhoffen keeps it going like he's been going here. Halfway this time by.
And that's exactly right. Halfway, these races roll off pretty quickly. Nick Cooper, though, sitting in the catbird seat right now. He's looking pretty up in that first spot, riding right along the top of the groove, coming to lap number 7. He still holds the lead.
And looking back, pretty much everybody is single file. Jason Nygaard, though, he is catching up to the back of that 21 car. Is he going to run out of time here? Only 3 laps to go next time by when Cooper hits the flag stand. So Nygaard really going to have to get the let out here and fend off a hard charge in Ryan Martin as well in that 24 car. That's the battle getting ready to happen for that 4th position on track.
Martin a tenth and a half faster that last time by, so he's certainly running him down. He has 2.5 laps left to go to try to complete it. He'll go down to the bottom. Nygaard to the top. Oh, and there's contact. Nygaard gets into him. It looks like he ran down the track off of turn number 4. That's going to send that Martin machine around and in his chances to get into the A main for now.
Sheridan still holding that final transfer spot in at 21. The battle for the lead starting to heat up as well. Newhoffen had a great run, but got really loose out of turn 4. White flag out for the 35 car of Nick Cooper. Newhoffen running that bottom in that 8 car. He's picking up some kind of time, but it doesn't look like he's going to have enough to get there. Nick Cooper out of turn 4 for the final time here in heat number 1. He's going to win here at Williams Grove. Newhoffen and Sheridan going to advance to the feature. Jason Nygaard in the 22 going to finish in 4th. Anthony Moreno from the back to 5th. Garrett Robertson, Ryan Martin, Alex Bergeron, and Corey Zatinsky, your field for heat number 1. And, I mean, just the biggest surprise out of that whole race was that 12 car, Alex Bergeron, going around. He's going to have to do it the hard way here if he wants to make this feature later on tonight.
He will, but we know if there's one man capable in this field of doing it, it's definitely him. And we'll get you set up here for heat number 2. The grid coming up just now.
All right, Bill Ahrens, first time we've seen him in a long time. Welcome back in that 50 car. He's going to start from pole position. Stephen Renault in the 115 going to start to his outside in row number 1. The 07 of I'm Always Late, Howard Weaver, going to roll off in the imaginary 3rd spot there. And Chris Brenner, the 70 car, as Weaver loads in. Chris Brenner in the 70 car going to start out of position number 4. Then you have the 27 of Alex Krapser, going to start out of position number 5. Pace truck is rolling now. The 17 of Josh Phillips going to start to the outside of row number 3. And row 4 is going to have the 16 of Kevin Loveys and the 4 car of Tim Weinreich.
There you go. The 8 cars setting us up for heat number 2. So we're about to get them rolling here as they're rolling down the backstretch here at the Williams Grove Speedway. But those of you out there on the chat box, what's your impressions of this race? What do you think we're going to see the same or differently in this heat? We want to know your thoughts, know your opinions. See a lot of you out from the Midwest watching this race. No surprise there. Seems to be the favorite here when we come over to iRacing on the dirt.
One more parade lap behind the iRacing pace truck. And Bill Ahrens, he's got his work cut out for him in 50 car. We don't see him that often, but when he gets a good off day, he comes out here and he puts on a show for these folks out here. Definitely, again, you got to watch out for that second row, 3rd and 4th place drivers. The 07 Howard Weaver, fan favorite here at the X.celerated Sprint Car Series presented by the Dirt Collective. And also Chris Brenner in that 70 car with the UDT livery on that machine. So going down the backstretch, going to get him set up. 10 more laps put on the board. Heat number 2 about to go green.
And the pace truck finally setting off into the pits here. The field is going to be under the control of Bill Ahrens up there in the 50 car, starting up front. He'll get him set. Green flag is in the air. They're too wide behind him. A great start there for Ahrens. He'll pull up, but Weaver already challenging for the 3rd spot.
Yeah, dives into the bottom of 07. Renault in that 115, still holding it steady up there on the high side. The red car right behind our leader in the blue, number 50, Renault, all over the back bumper of Ahrens. The 70 gets into the 115. That's Brenner. Renault gets into the outside retaining wall. Here comes Josh Phillips trying to split the difference, trying to make it through the middle there, out of turn number 2. We're 4 wide coming out of 2.
Oh, it looks like somebody did not want to be a part of that, but that's going to send them flipping here down the backstretch. Steve Renaud, end over end, and 4 wide. It did not work here at Williams Grove, but they keep it green. And the rest of the cars in that battle, Kevin Loveys, Josh Phillips, Chris Brenner, they're still battling.
Yeah, and the exchange for the lead just happened. Weaver got around Ahrens on the bottom side. Phillips in that 17 car trying to make that middle lane work. Loveys all the way on the bottom. They're going to have to fall back in line behind the 70 of Chris Brenner. That is going to be the battle for the transfer spot. The 70 dives it down there, trying to take the slide job line, takes second position away from the 50 car. Here goes Phillips to the inside as well, as it looked like Aaron's checked up a little bit. Now Phillips has that transfer spot as we're rolling out of turn number 4 to complete lap 4.
Some great action here early on in heat number 2. They're 3 wide into turn number 1. Entering Brenner comes out of it alive. Josh Phillips will maintain third. Bill Ahrens falls back to 4th. And then Kevin Lovey's making the slide job. He'll pull up into the 4th spot. In front of him, some great racing here at Williams Grove.
Yeah, Lovey's now up to the 4th position. He's setting the sights on the tail of that 17 car. Josh Phillips showing that he has some muscle here today at the Williams Grove Speedway. Halfway last time around when we come to the stripe, we have 4 laps to run for Howard Weaver to win here. Brenner, though, of course, second quickest tonight in qualifying. So Weaver, it's not exactly going to be a walk in the park for that 07, as that 70, he's coming now.
He certainly is. That 70 is on the charge as he tries to work his way up through the field, up to the 2nd spot. He is, after starting in the 4th position, he's eyeing that first place car of Howard Weaver. Also worked his way through the field. Seems like everybody's running single file, spreading out just a little bit here. He's top 3, especially pulling away. Lovey's, though, he's still trying to hold down that transfer spot over Ahrens.
And Phillips. Oh, there we go. Slide job for the lead. He slides right in front of Weaver. Brenner does not successful in his attempt to take over the race lead. Weaver crosses him back over coming out of turn number 2. Now to go through 3 and 4. White flag is out for that 07 car of Howard Weaver. Brenner, he's got one more chance to do something. See if he can't make some magic happen and take this race win. Definitely going to help him out in starting in the field, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Weaver dives it all the way to the bottom, blocks the slider, takes away that opportunity. He's going to win here. Chris Brenner going to come in second, and Josh Phillips going to be your final transfer to the feature. Got Kevin Lovey's, Bill Ahrens, Alex Crapser, Tim Weinreich, and Stephen Renault, your results for heat number 3. And that was a lot more racy than heat number 1 was there.
Absolutely. Heat number 2, and we've already seen 4 wide action here at Williams Grove. Don't know what the fans could want more, but as we say that, we're going to roll right along to heat number 3.
And starting on the pole for this heat is going to be the 421 of Trampus Kolthoff. Kyle Scott in the 6 car going to start out of position number 2. The 57 of Anthony Lepresto going to start in 3rd, and the 20 car of David Heileman, if he ever gets rolling, is going to start in the 4th position. Rocky Battenfield in the 097 going to start out of position number 5. 6 goes to the 31 of Drew Phillips. Nicholas Parker in 7th in the 30 car. And the 19 of Nathan Painter going to start out of position number 8. Another 8 cars, another 4 rows worth of these 360 sprint cars. Another 10 laps gets put on the board for heat number 3.
Well, Wes, and I got to think the one thing we're going to see here in each of our races, we've had one guy in the top 4 fall out of this thing. Alex Bergeron did it in heat number 1. And then in heat number 2, Steven Renaud ended up flipping end over end here to the entrance of turn number 3. So you got to think you want to look up front, and that is kind of the brilliance of the invert, is that this is not likely how these guys will finish. It'll definitely shake some things up here as we get going.
Well, yeah, you always got to watch out for the Heilemaniac, that 20 car of Heileman. Anthony Lepresto, he's shown a lot of strength this season as well in that 57 car. Haven't really seen Kyle Scott all that much this season, but Trampus Kolthoff, if he gets a good run, he can definitely give these drivers a run for their money. Don't count out Rocky Battenfield or Drew Phillips either, starting out of the 3rd row. Pace truck is off. The 421 of Kolthoff has command of the field. Kyle Scott trying to anticipate the start there, but down and away. Green flag is out for heat number 3. Lepresto already to the inside of that 6 car, back here for that second position. He's going to slide it right up in front of the 6 car. Here comes Heileman to the inside of the 6. But it looks like Lepresto going to take that second position away from Kyle Scott here early on. Now Scott trying to run the slide job line, actually keeps it on the inside, gets it to the inside, retaining wall. Heileman going to go around the outside into that final transfer spot.
Just that quickly, Kyle Scott back to 5th as he tries to work his way on the bottom. Battenfield looks like he will pull in front of him. Kyle Scott takes it back to the 4th position, but Heileman and Lepresto running there on the top in 2nd and 3rd. And again, Scott challenging again on the inside, not able to make it work. They're still 2 wide behind him for 5th, though, between Battenfield and Parker.
Yeah, Parker putting together a pretty good run, too. He's now on the outside of that 6 car, making that high side work pretty well for that machine. Now back to the outside as Kolthoff is a little slow up front here. The battle is on for 2nd as well. The 30 car has gotten around and up into the 4, or actually that's Nathan Painter in the 19 car, excuse us, up to 4th. And now the battle for the lead. I mean, you could just about throw a blanket over everybody. Heileman to the inside, Lepresto on the high side. Kolthoff slow coming out of 4. Heileman takes over 2nd space.
Wow, what patience there. Looks like Kolthoff got a little bit sideways, and these guys were able to get through it right now. Heileman, though, on the outside, rather, losing that spot to Lepresto. He's going to put Heileman into the fence. Heileman comes off, heel spin in front of the field. 3 cars involved here in turn number 3. The top 2 are going to be able to break away. Lepresto and Kolthoff still holding down the lead, and Kyle Scott in 3rd.
Just a bad move from that 20 car. Ended up taking out his teammate in 097 as well. But now Kyle Scott sitting in that last transfer spot. He's got a pretty good gap between himself and the 31 of Drew Phillips, who is back and forth, say about a second and a half, just over a second and a half. The battle is on for the race lead. Lepresto to the inside of the 421. He's going to try to throw the slider on. He pushes Trampus up the racetrack. Trampus gets into him a little bit, but Lepresto comes away the victor. New leader here at Williams Grove.
Really surprised there that Kolthoff was able to maintain control of that race car after the contact with Lepresto, but Lepresto still holds the lead. Kolthoff going to try to get back around him, but now he's got a mirror full of Kyle Scott there on the bottom, challenging for 2nd.
Yeah, admins threw a black flag on Lepresto with 2 laps to go here. So even if he finishes 1st, he's not going to be scored here for this event. So that's going to put Kolthoff technically in the 1st transfer, the 6 of Kyle Scott in the 2nd, and the 3rd transfer should be Drew Phillips in that 31 car. White flag is out, though, for that 57 car of Lepresto. Kolthoff under fire from the 6 of Kyle Scott, but to no avail. Kolthoff bouncing through the bumps on the backstretch. He's going to maintain that 2nd place. Out of turn number 4 they come. The check-inner's out for Lepresto, but Kolthoff is going to get the win here. Kyle Scott and Drew Phillips going to be your transferring drivers. Then you got Nicholas Parker, Rocky Battenfield, David Heileman, Nathan Painter, and Anthony Lepresto going to be the remaining results for that. Not 100% sure what happened there. We're going to have to, just go with the admin's discretion there.
Well, I believe if you look at that incident, I mean, it looks like Lepresto comes up, throws the slider, just didn't necessarily have enough room. It also looks like the 421 of Kolthoff just tried to back off and try to get a run on the bottom at the same time. So I'm really confused there on the call there. It looks like Lepresto just throwing the slider. Maybe didn't have enough room, but definitely didn't drift up into him. And it looks like Kolthoff just tried to mistime the pass. So a little confused there on the black flag handed to Lepresto. That's a shame.
Well, heat number 4 grid is up. Steven Calavota in the 26 car going to start out of position number 1. The 18 of Austin Simmelman on the outside of row number 1. Ryan Gaunt in the 3 car going to start out of the 3rd position. And the 211 of Dan Smolders going to start out of position number 4. The 005 of Braden Eiler going to start out of position number 5. And the 15 of DJ Kilanowski on the outside of row number 3. And bringing up the final and 4th row here is going to be the 74 of Larry Moody and the 316 of Chad Gammertsfelder.
All right, so going ahead and getting set up here for heat number 4. Again, that invert, like we said before last week, it ended up, or before the last race, rather, it ended up making a difference again. We had a driver from the 6th spot race his way up into 3rd. Anthony Lepresto started in 3rd, will be officially scored in the 7th position after the black flag. But how about Thomas Koltoff up there? Qualified 1st, and he's our first pole sitter, I believe, to maintain the lead the entire race and be able to take down the win. So congratulations to Koltoff, showing that despite the invert, he can stay up there, hold the track position.
Up another 10 laps going to get put on the board. Final heat for tonight's festivities. Race number 8 of the X.celerated Sprint Car Series presented by the Dirt Collective. Definitely has not disappointed so far. Let's see how these boys get on here. Steven Calavoda in that 26 car going to have the command of the field. He is down and away. Green flag is out here. And Austin Simmelman trying to put some pressure on that 26 car early. He's going to immediately go to the high side, as well as Calavoda, the 3 car of Gaunt, under fire from the 211 of Dan Smolders. Smolders now up to that 3rd position. Simmelman going to throw the slider on the 26 car. Calavoda gets into it with the 211 as well. Dan Smolders, a lot of contact between those 2 cars.
Yeah, it looks like he got tossed up there to the outside line. The 26, though, getting the worst of it. Getting into the outside wall, Calavoda kind of getting shoved out of the groove there by, I believe, what was it, Dan Smolders there in the 211, so a little bit of aggressive driving up here to start.
And fanning out again, Gaunt trying to throw a slider on Calavoda now in that 3 car. Doesn't quite get there as cars are tangling behind him as well. That's the 74 and the 15 of Moody and Kilinowski. Oh, Gaunt's around in front of him. Big contact between that 3 car and the 74. Larry Moody almost stopped on the racetrack. Kilinowski gets up to the 4th position, and Simmelman is pretty much Austin, see you later, Simmelman, in that 18 car. He's pulled out to a pretty substantial lead over that 211. Calavoda still in that final transfer spot in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Simmelman has checked out of this one, started 2nd and hasn't looked back. Smolders, though, working his way up from the 4th spot there in 2nd, doing a good job maintaining speed there. And then Calavoda, after getting into the wall early, he's still up there being a factor. But how about DJ Kilinowski, faster that last time up than Calavoda? He's catching him just a little bit, except for getting into the outside wall right there.
Yeah, he's very squarely back there in a 15 car. Saw him coming out of turn 4 last lap, and he was completely 90 degrees towards the wall. So this track definitely getting tore up. The slick has definitely advanced up the racetrack. You can just see everybody starting to try and use that cushion to their advantage. The one who's using it to his advantage, though, that 18 of Austin Simmelman, definitely putting a hurting on the rest of the field. Dan Smolders, he's trying to find some speed somewhere, but that 211 car, he's just right now no match for that 18.
No, I don't think anybody is that's on the racetrack right now, but again, DJ Kilinowski, a 10th and a half faster than Calavoda, so watch that 3rd spot. Don't know how much time he has left to try and complete the pass, but he definitely is pulling up on that 26 machine. He may have just enough time here as we take 2 laps to go.
Yeah, 2 left to run here for heat number 4. After this, we're going to advance to either a C or B main. We have 12 cars going to be locked in after this heat ends. And Smolders very wide and wiggly coming off of turn number 4 that last time around. White flag is out for Austin Simmelman. 2 more corners for that 18 car. Kilinowski, though, he's putting on a good charge for that last transfer spot. Can he get there? It doesn't look like he has enough time. Maybe another lap or 2. He might have been able to get there, but it just depends on what Calavoda does coming out of 4. Simmelman's going to take the checkered flag. Smolders in 2nd. Calavoda going to take that 3rd and final transfer spot. We got DJ Kilinowski, Ryan Gaunt, Braden Eiler, Larry Moody, and Chad Gammertsfelder going to be your remaining results for that one. 11 cars set up in this C main. Top 4 going to transfer to the B. Another 8 laps going to be put on the board, so not a lot of time for these drivers to get up and try and make their case heard to get into this B main. Still a lot of fast drivers in this C main here tonight. It's a shame we're going to have to send a couple of them home.
Absolutely. You hate that. You want to kind of showcase the best drivers you have out here, and there's certainly a ton of drivers out here that, I mean, guys like Halliman, Bergeron, a lot of names that you didn't expect to hear running here in the C main, but nevertheless, they are here. And how about you tell us the order they're going to be starting in for this quick 8-lap stint?
Well, Heileman's got the pole position in that 20 car. We saw him get into a incident in his heat. The 005 of Braden Eiler, who was just in that last heat. So he's pretty much one of the freshest guys out here. Going to start out of position number 2. The 33 of Garrett Robertson out of 3rd, and 4th goes to the 4 car of Tim Weinreich. Anthony Lepresto, who was black flagged and had the lead strip, or the win stripped from him in that 57 car. He's going to start out of position number 5. The 6th place car is going to be the 74 of Larry Moody. Alex Bergeron, of course, that 12 car, going to start out of 7th position after he wrecked out early on in heat number 1. And Stephen Renault in the 115, another victim of a wreck in heat number 2, going to start out of that 8th position. You got the 19 of Nathan Painter in 9th. 10th going to go to the 316 of Chad Gammertsfelter, and Corey Zatinsky in the 10 car. Going to round out our 11 car field. Only 4 spots available, so these guys towards the back, they're going to have to get the lead out and try and make their way through the field as quickly and as cleanly as they possibly can with not a lot of time on the board.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one guy I'm probably going to be watching more than anybody in this one, it's that 57 of Lepresto. Crossed the line first in that heat that he was in, wasn't scored the race leader. That's got to be a frustrating feeling. I'm sure he's going to want to come out here and prove that he belongs in the B main. Even in the A main tonight, we'll see how aggressive he is here at the start.
And green flag is out. Heileman down and away with the race lead. A lot of cars getting real squirrely coming out of turn 4 on that initial start. Lepresto got into it with the 4 car. The 005 now on the high side loses a ton of time. The 4 of Weinreich gets in it as well. He goes to the back of the pack. And, oh, they're wrecking in front of him as well. That's the 33 car, I believe. The 05 flipping in turn number 4. Still cars hitting each other out of turn 4.
Yeah, Garrett Robinson got a little checked up there in turn 1, ran into the wall in turn 3, and that'll put a damper in the night of Steve Renaud, Corey Zantnitsky, and Chad Gamersfelder. It looks like all 3 of those guys, and there's more flipping on the racetrack. Braden Elder is out of this thing. There's a lot of guys going home early here in the C main, but Heileman maintains the lead.
And looking for it right now. Look who is in second already after that first lap. Alex Bergeron in that 12 car. He's got to do it the hard way here tonight. Making a case for himself right now as he is up to that second position. Heileman, he's got almost a second advantage over that 12 car. Larry Moody putting together a great run as well in third. And Nathan Painter right now in that 19 car. He's got that 4th and final transfer spot. And a good 3-second plus gap between him and Stephen Renaud. Him and the 316 of Gammersfelter, the only 2 cars still left on the racetrack. Weinreich, Lepresto, Eiler, Robinson, and Zatinsky already going home here tonight.
Yeah, Painter, all he has to do is just limp this 19 car around if he can, and he'll easily be in the B main feature for tonight. But the battle is going to be up front for pride and for position as Alex Bergeron, David Heileman getting into it. These top 2 starting to close back up again, and the laps are counting down. We're 2 to go this time.
Now, Heileman, that 20 car, has had the lead since the drop of the green flag, had a great restart, had a great advantage over the rest of the field. Bergeron taking the low line here in that 12 car, seeing what kind of moisture is left down there. And, I mean, he's got a good case out of turn number 4. The white flag in hand. He's there, ladies and gentlemen. The battle is on for the race lead here in the C main at Williams Grove. Heileman slow off of turn number 2. Bergeron takes over that spot on the bottom of the racetrack. Now Bergeron, 2 more corners to go. Can he hold him off? It looks like he is going to. Checkered flag out for Alex Bergeron in that 12 car. Heileman, Moody, and Painter. Yep, Painter, last car left on the racetrack. All 4 cars going to advance to the B main. Stephen Renaud and Chad Gammersfelter are going to go to the haulers at the back of the lot and head on home tonight. So 12 cars will advance from this B main. Another 10 laps getting put on the board. There's only 14 drivers in here, so we're only going to send 2 cars home. So these drivers have got to hope that they don't get into any trouble here early on in this B main.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Wes. You got all but 2 drivers getting through tonight, and obviously we've seen a lot of action, some guys getting wrecked in probably each of our heats and the C main tonight. So really all you got to do is probably just finish this race to lock your spot into the A main, but also if you want to go to that A main, you don't want to be starting in the back, so these guys are going to be racing hard for position. But right now the main goal is just to be able to find that checkered flag at the end of this thing.
Yes, it is. Jason Nygaard in the 22 going to start on the pole here for the B main. To his outside, the 16 of Kevin Lovey's. Nicholas Parker in the 30 car going to start out of position number 3, and 4th goes to the 15 car of DJ Kilinowski. The 310 of Anthony Moreno going to start out of position number 5, and 6 goes to the 50 car of Bill Ahrens. Rocky Battenfield, the 097, going to start out of position number 7, and 8th place goes to the 3 car of Ryan Gaunt. Row number 5 has the 24 of Ryan Martin and the 27 of Alex Krapser in 9th and 10th. And our 4 transfers from the C main, you got Alex Bergeron, David Heileman, Larry Moody, and Nathan Painter rounding out our 14-car field. Now, I'm just wondering who's going to go home. I mean, a lot of fast drivers out here. Of course, every position you gain in this gains you a spot on the grid for the feature coming up here after we get out of this session and load into the next session. So, I mean, there's a lot of drivers here, a lot of hungry people wanting to get up and get a good starting spot for this feature coming up shortly.
As for who's not going to make it, I can't really tell you. We didn't think we would see Bergeron and Heileman having to race their way through the C main tonight. It's just contact and accidents, and that is probably going to be what decides this as well. So it's really unpredictable. We could see a wreck in the middle kind of ruin those guys in the back, or maybe we get through this thing completely green. We don't know. But right now the pace truck is off. They'll be led to the green by Jason Nygaard. Green flag is in the air. Nygaard is already under assault going into turn number 1.
Oh, he's into the wall as well. He's all up in the catch finish. The 30 car loose in front of the whole field. We're 3 wide behind him with the 5310 and 097. Battenfield. Oh, he hits the inside wall. That car is dead. Big pile up out of turn number 4. Only 3 cars got through it. And Nygaard involved. Aaron's involved. Oh, my God.
Oh, and then another huge collision right here on the exit of turn number 4. I believe it was Bill Ahrens trying to get back going, and he actually kind of ran right into David Heileman where he was coming on the racetrack. So we look up front. How about DJ Kilinowski is able to maintain the first spot, and everybody else we're trying to figure out where they are on the racetrack.
Nathan Painter came from dead last. He is now running in 2nd position after lap 1 catastrophe throughout the whole field. Kevin Lovey's still up here in that 16 car. Ryan Gaunt in the 3 in 4th, and 5th right now, Nicholas Parker. But DJ Kilinowski able to squeak his way by all of the wrecks there on that initial lap and takes this lead here, coming to complete lap number 4 out of the scheduled 10 for this B main. And I'm just about at a loss for words now.
Yeah, that's not great as Ryan Gaunt is upside down. The good thing is he's still going to be transferring in right now. The 24 and the 22 sitting on pit road. I believe those are going to be the final 2 that will not be in this thing. I believe somebody left a server that may be messing with timing and scoring as we had 14 drivers start this thing. But I think the race to the A main is already decided now. We're just determining starting positions, and how about DJ Kilinowski running up front, but real unfortunate showing here. He wanted to see a great race, and looks like just contact up at the front of the field, and not a whole lot of room here at Williams Grove.
Nope, not at all. And just one mistake can end your night. I mean, if you sneeze the wrong way, if your hand slips off the wheel, you know, that could ruin your night along with a lot of other people's night. We saw the 097 get into that inside retaining wall. He's still running on the track right now, which is a good thing for Battenfield. So he's still got a chance to maybe get another position, but He's going to have to get around Heilemann, who is just about a track and a half in front of him. Kilinowski about to put Heilemann a lap down here.
Yeah, there he goes. Not a sight we thought we would be seeing, but David Heilemann going a lap down in this one. However, he is still running in the 7th position, so a really good run there for Heilemann, or at least it's good enough to be able to go on to the A main tonight. But also, I think one thing that is kind of a result of this is the fact that you don't really have a caution in these heats. So as guys are wrecking, you're not worried about getting through the wreck and being able to take a breath and relax after it. You're worrying about racing the guy next to you. I think even that's why we saw Aaron's there pull up onto the track, because even though you spun around, you're going to still try to get going knowing there's only 2 guys not going to make this thing. So I think a little bit of that is just a product of the fact that you don't have any yellow flags here, and you're basically racing right through the caution.
Yeah, and Kilinowski already took the checker flag last time by in that 15 car. Race is over. Nathan Painter, Kevin Loveys, Nicholas Parker, Larry Moody, Alex Bergeron, David Heilemann, Rocky Battenfield, Ryan Martin, Bill Aarons is your top 10. 11th goes to Ryan Gaunt, and 12th, Anthony Moreno in that 310. Jason Nygaard and Alex Krapser are going to be going home tonight, and I tell you what, I know that 15 car is ecstatic. Not an easy task to win here at Team VLR, but when they have the fast guys take each other out, then yeah, it can fall into your lap like that. You never know when you're going to get lucky here.
That's true, and it looks like we had 2 cars not or we had 1 car not attempt the race. That was Alex Krapser, who sat on pit road. So I believe we might only have 1 guy that did not make the field. That was actually Jason Nygaard, who started up in first, only completed 1 lap, and I believe he is going to be the lone driver not transferring on to the A main. So interesting situation there. Krapser electing not to start in the B main.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get our sponsors thanked here. Got to thank X.celerated for sponsoring all 3 of the VLR Big 3 series this season. Also, for the sprint cars, got to thank the Dirt Collective for being an associate title sponsor. As always, the fastest lap sponsor is Team Friday Chassis Consultants. The Hard Charger Award tonight is going to be given out by Dirt All Access. And a free drive to all VLR champions provided by the Kenny Wallace Dirt Racing Experience. Got to thank Dirt Car Racing, STL Racing, Caper Screen Printing, Farmer City Raceway, Tennessee Punch Bunch, and all of our other affiliates there at the bottom right hand of your screen. As always, go check them out on Facebook. Go give them a like. And we'll be right back with feature racing here in the 360 Sprint Cars at Williams Grove.
Everyone likes to talk about talent. It's easy to spot, but hard to define. So what exactly is talent? Talent is what gets you up in the morning and keeps you in the shop long after everyone else has called it a day. Talent doesn't fear failure, nor does it bask in the glory of success. Talent is always improving and never satisfied. And while talent may benefit from money, talent can't be bought. Talent is focused. Talent is driven. And while talent doesn't always win, it never loses sight of the ultimate goal. Simply put, talent is what hard work looks like after all the hard work has been done.
What if they're right? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm just wasting my time, wasting my money, wasting my life? What if I make a mistake? What if I get taken out? What if I miss the main? Again. What if I win? not race for fame. We do not race for money. We do not race to become celebrities or see our faces on TV. We do not race because it's easy. We do not race because it's safe. We race because it's the only way to be certain that life will never pass us by.
Introducing a whole new form of racing to the best online racing simulation in the world. This is Dirt Racing on iRacing.com. Race online at some of America's most legendary dirt tracks, including Eldora and Williams Grove. iRacing is the premier online racing game featuring NASCAR, IndyCar, sports cars, and now World of Outlaws, the leading sanctioning body for dirt racing. iRacing is easy to use and features a centralized ranking system to make sure you have the best experience at any skill level. With a massive inventory of high-precision laser scan tracks and cars with an unmatched dedication to quality and detail, iRacing gives you the most authentic online racing experience available. Thanks to iRacing's dynamic track system, developed specifically for dirt racing, tracks change over the course of a race, just like your favorite dirt track on a Friday or Saturday night. From a slick racing groove all the way up to the cushion, iRacing's dirt tracks deliver non-stop racing action. Partnered with the World of Outlaws, iRacing is your source for the most authentic dirt racing experience available, featuring 4 brand new tracks and 11 new cars, including street stocks, cars, late models, NASCAR trucks, winged and non-winged sprint cars, with much more on the way. Join the Dirt Revolution on iRacing.com and start slinging mud today.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
All right, welcome back to the Williams Grove Speedway. Here we're getting set for feature racing here tonight, and through the heats and all of the C and B main action, we have got the top 24 drivers for tonight out here live for this particular race. And just looking from our heat winners, they're going to start towards the front of the pack, maybe the top 4 positions. Got a couple of guys going to have to make their way through the back. Of course, we all saw the debacle there in the B main as well, with it being such just a battle of attrition, just to get that thing finished, or get everybody. Ooh, somebody just rolled over the wall there. That was awesome. But feature racing coming up here, and Blake. What do you think is going to end up happening here, and who you got for tonight?
Well, I think we're going to see, unfortunately, just a little bit more action here, a lot of contact, and that's the thing. Williams Grove is spread out. You got a little bit of banking, more room to play with, obviously, than what we had at Knoxville last week. But I think these guys are kind of showing all it takes is one mess up, especially at the front of the field, and that can really shake some things up. I hate to pick them a second week in a row, but I was right last week, and if anybody watched me in any of the other series I cover, I think that's the first time anybody I've ever picked has finished a race. But I'm going to have to go with Bergeron again, just kind of charging through the field. It seems like when he's able to stay out of trouble, there's just really nobody here that can challenge him. So I'll have to take him to take down the win, but we'll see if he gets through all the carnage or not.
All right, the session is advanced. I'm getting ready to go to the grid. I am going to take, of course, this driver's had not a lot of luck here this season, but I have a feeling that he can walk away with the trophy tonight. I'm going to go with the 18 car of Austin Simmelman. So cars now starting to grid up. Going to let a couple more of these drivers get their virtual 360 sprint cars out to the starting grid here on the front stretch at Williams Grove, and then we'll go down our starting grid for our 30-lap feature. Of course, caution laps not going to count, so we'll do our best to get you the current lap when we can. And I believe it's about time to throw down here tonight for these 360 sprint cars.
Starting in first is going to be Chris Brenner in the 70, followed by in second is going to be Dan Smulders in the 211. Nick Cooper going to start in third with Howard Weaver to his outside starting fourth. Trampus Koltoff starting fifth, Austin Simmelman in sixth. Cole Newhafen will start in seventh, Kyle Scott in eighth, Michael Sheridan in ninth, and Josh Phillips will round out the top 10.
Right, Drew Phillips in the 23 going to start out of position number 11. 12th going to go to the 27 of Stephen Calavoda. DJ Kilinowski, our B-main winner, going to start out of the 13th position. Nathan Painter going to start to his outside in row number 7. You got Kevin Lovey's in the 25 car, going to start out of position number 15. 16th going to go to the 115 of Nicholas Parker. Larry Moody in the 74 going to start in 17th. 18th going to be David Heileman in the double deuce. The 097 of Rocky Battenfield going to start out of position 19, and to the outside in row number 10 is going to be that 24 car of Ryan Martin. Bill Aarons and Ryan Gaunt make up row number 11, and the final row going to have the 310 of Anthony Moreno, and Blake's pick out of the 24th starting position, that 12 car of Alex Bergeron.
All right, and that's going to round out the field for our A-main feature for tonight. Fans out there on Facebook Live, anywhere else you are watching, get up on your feet if you can. Give us a share to give your friends all this wonderful action. We'll see what kind of show we can put on for you here at the Williams Grove Speedway. We're going to be running all the way through this, bringing you nonstop action. Me and Wes Graham coming to you live from X.celerated. Wes, I'll give you the call to start us.
All right, Chris Brenner, 70 car, down and away. Green flag is out here. Williams Grove, race number 8 is underway. Chris Brenner gets a great jump on the rest of the field now. They're 3-4 wide. You got Weaver on the inside of that 35 of Nick Cooper, and the 211 of Dan Smulders now back to that 4th position. You got cars diving it in all over the place. They are 3 wide for that 2nd position. Cars in the back hitting the outside retaining wall, but Chris Brenner going to lead lap 1.
He is. He's pulled out to a sizable lead. His caution flag is out on the speedway for the first time.
And looking for the culprit there. Might have been up there. Oh, yeah. That's definitely where that's going to be at. The 21 and Nathan Painter ended up getting into it with, it looks like the 74, if I'm not mistaken. I can't tell on this. Yep, 74 of Larry Moody gets demolished on the front stretch by Bill Aarons in that 50 car. So caution out fairly quickly here at Williams Grove.
Well, and there we have it. I predicted we'd have some carnage, and already we have some drivers that are not going to see the other end of the speedway. Not sure if Battenfield was even able to complete a lap there. Nathan Painter also involved, Larry Moody. I believe they'll all go behind the wall as well, and already this race has 3 casualties to start out. 21 cars remain in the field, but how about Chris Brenner? He was able to get a pretty good restart there, get out to a sizable lead. So a good restart by him. Let's see if he can replicate it this time.
And a couple of positions did end up swapping hands. Dan Smulders went down a couple of spots back to that 4th position. Nick Cooper and Howard Weaver leapfrogged that 211 car to get up to 2nd and 3rd, respectively. Simmelman up a position. Kyle Scott in the 6 up 2. Michael Sheridan up 2 spots so far early on in the going. One of the biggest losers out of that restart was the 9 of Josh Phillips from 10th all the way back to 15th. Lost 5 spots on that initial start.
How about the number 12 of Bergeron? Creeping up just a little bit, starting in 24th, already up to 18th. So 12 car looking to gain positions early on in the going.
All right, well, when we see the green flag fly, we're going to have 5 laps down up until halfway. Cautions do not count. After halfway, they will here tonight. Chris Brenner, once again, on the pole for, or starting out of position number 1 for this restart. Pace truck is off of the racing surface. Nick Cooper to the outside in that 35. He's been known to get some good restarts here. Not going to get a good one that time. 70 car down and away. Brenner leads him back to the stripe here to complete lap 5. Cooper in 2nd now. Weaver and Simmelman were battling for a second in the middle of turns 1 and 2, but here goes Weaver. The battle is on for that second position. He goes to the inside of Cooper into 3.
He does, trying the inside, but Cooper going to be able to take the momentum on the high side, hold him off for now. Now Simmelman trying to become part of that battle in the 18. He'll dive it back down to the bottom, but how about Weaver also looking to overtake Cooper there in second? Brenner's still pulling away, but Cooper now having a charge from the 07 on the bottom.
Yeah, now Weaver's to the inside. The 211 back there fighting with Cole Newhoffen as well. That's the battle for that 5th position as caution comes out once again here early on, looking towards the back of the pack. Again, that is going to look like it was the 23 car. 23, Drew Phillips and Josh Phillips get into it in the middle of 3 and 4. The 23 bounced it off of the tires there, lining the entrance into pit lane. Goes back up the track in front of Josh Phillips. So the 9 car involved. The 12 of Bergeron got a little piece of it as well. And then a couple of cars coming through. I believe that was Martin and the Anthony Moreno got a little piece of the action as well.
I was about to say nowhere to go, but how about Alex Bergeron there? I don't know if we can replay that back, but man, he was... I mean, there was probably, you couldn't fit a piece of paper between him, the 9 car, and the 24 car coming in behind him. He was somehow able to get out of that, so a masterful job of getting the car slowed down and being able to get out from it. But already early on, a lot of bent-up race cars here at the Williams Grove Speedway.
Brenner still out front. Restart is king in any of these series, especially here with the sprint cars, with how much momentum you had to carry throughout the corners to maintain your speed. So Brenner, of course, in the ultimate position here, out of position number 1. Excuse me. Nick Cooper still maintained that second spot over Howard Weaver. Cooper, of course, when we were running the 410s, he was a force to be reckoned with. Had 3 wins on the season before we switched over to the 360s. So he's always going to be a contender. But this top 5 is pretty stacked as of right now. And then you look through the rest of the field, and you see, let's see, Nicholas Parker is up 5 spots from 16th to 11th in that 115 car. Cars now getting lined up 2 by 2, getting set to get another restart under our belts.
And also, just a reminder, caution laps will count up until lap 15. And also another reminder, I think this may be the last double file restart of the night. If they're not able to keep it clean, they'll rack them back up and they'll restart single file to try to clean up a bit of this racing.
All right, here we go again. Brenner back on the gas. Down and away. Green flag flies back here at lap 11. 11 down. We have 19 left to run. Weaver now on the bottom of the racetrack trying to take over that second position. Still a lot of side-by-side behind him as well as Weaver does complete the pass. Here goes Simmelman. He's trying to get a 2-for-1 special. He's only going to get 1 spot with a slider on Cooper. Weaver pulling away from that battle as Cooper now fighting back to the inside on a crossover. Caution comes out once again.
We'll try to look back in the field and see if we can't find... Oh, there was a car, again, flipping on the front stretch. That's going to be the 27 of Steven Calavoda. We can go back and see what happened to him. In that instance, it looked like there was a bit of contact between the 25 of Lovey's and the 115 of Nicholas Parker. And then the 27 of Calavoda, just an innocent bystander, nowhere to go. He's end over end. Flips kind of reminiscent of Elliott Sadler at Talladega a long while ago. And again, more carnage here at Williams Grove.
And coming out of turn 4, I mean, they were pretty much 4 cars wide. Kilinowski in the 15 car also got a little piece of Bergeron there on that exchange. A lot of guys trying to check up behind him. Calavoda definitely went on a wild ride in that 27 car. Amazed that thing is still going in the right direction now. Or now he's on the pits now, so.
Absolutely look like he may be pulling it behind the wall. And it may be done, but right now we're going to be coming to 15 to go at the green. Going to be crossing lap 15 here in just a moment, and after that, caution laps will not count, and we'll be running green, or at least green flag laps will count until the end. I think we'll see a couple more yellows, but already only 19 cars are on the track. So 5 cars out of this thing very, very early on. We're only on lap 15 and already see about 5 cars out of a 24-car field parking it behind the wall and taking it home early.
Well, single file restarts are on the menu now, as you said earlier, Blake. So Chris Brenner definitely going to have his work cut out for him here. I believe the pace truck's lights are off, so we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Single file from here on out. 15 laps to go on the board here at Williams Grove. And Chris Brenner down and away, gets a good jump over Howard Weaver. Look at Simmelman. He's trying to get to that inside of that 07. That's the battle on for second as they almost touch. Getting into turn number 1. They're 3 wide for second. Cooper splits the difference, takes that bottom, gets around that 18, but not for long as both that 07 and that 18 going to go to the high side. Cooper, low side hustling right now.
He is trying to be the low side hustler right now, working just a little bit. Still 2 wide there with Weaver and with Simmelman right behind him, but Weaver able to make that top side work, now diving it back down to the bottom to stop that charge from Cooper. And now Weaver going to try to power it back on the high side.
And trying to fend off Simmelman as well. So that 07 car still in second. Simmelman and Cooper trading that third position back and forth, turn after turn. We got 13 laps to go here. Newhoffen trying to put his hat into the ring. Weaver slow. Simmelman gets into him. Newhoffen gets a piece of it. We're still under green flag conditions.
Yeah, it looks like somebody checked up there at the front of the field, but we're going to maintain green flag conditions. Looks like Austin Simmelman a little slow there trying to check up and having to check up there for Howard Weaver, who almost got into the outside wall. We'll keep it going green, and Brenner, or Cooper, is out front of this thing. Brenner, though, in the lead. He's pulling away by quite a margin.
Yeah, he is. He is loving this action behind him as he gets to stretch his legs out, stretch that lead. He's got about a second over Cooper right now, as Cooper's still running that bottom lane. Maybe he knows something we don't know. Generally, the high side is king, as he maintains that 0.9 second gap between himself and our race leader, keeping Weaver at bay in third as well. Looking back through the pack, it looks like we just have a bunch of single file racing all the way through the rest of the field. So Brenner now coming at the line. We have 9 laps remaining, and that battle for second starting to heat up here, but don't count out Newhoffen. Newhoffen into the wall there. Smolders gets back around him for that 5th spot.
Yes, he does. Newhoffen up to 5th. But how about this battle still taking place between Howard Weaver and Nick Cooper? Right now, the fastest car on the racetrack is actually Chris Brenner. And I think it's because of a product of that second place battle. Cooper and Weaver still going after it, exchanging now. Cooper on the high side, Weaver now on the bottom. Now you throw Austin Simmelman into that fight as well.
An 18 car charging back to try and get back into this fight after contact with the 07 earlier on in this run. 7 laps left to go, 6 at the line. Weaver goes all the way to the bottom of the racetrack in that 07. Cooper still on that high side, gets a lot of momentum, going to maintain about a car length gap between that second and third place runner. 6 laps left to run for Chris Brenner to take home the checkered flag here in race number 8 of the season.
He's gone unchallenged, but now the caution flag is out, and now a wreck for that 3rd spot between Simmelman and I believe Howard Weaver. Again, maybe a product of trying to slow down for the caution flag. Nevertheless, Weaver kicked out sideways, and that's going to end both of their nights. Dan Smolders got into it as well. Some action after the caution flag. Don't think that was initially what brought it out, but that's not going to be good for these leaders up here.
Yeah, now the caution flew immediately, and it just looks like Weaver just missed his mark in there. Got the car, or actually Simmelman got into the back of Weaver and sent the 07 into the wall. But looking back towards the back of the pack, we're looking for this this caution. I believe it might have been Sheridan in that 20 car, quite possibly. Yeah, he gets into Lovey's. Lovey's goes flipping in turn number 2, so that's the reason for the caution. 6 laps still left to run here for that 70 car Chris Brenner. Now with Nick Cooper back up into second on this restart, Dan Smolders in third. You got Newhoffen and Kyle Scott in that 5th position. But look at 6th, the 22, David Heileman, all the way from 18th up to that 6th position. That's 12 spots on the night, tied with Ryan Gaunt right now for that hard charger. Of course, Heileman finishing ahead of him would win that title, but Bergeron as well, up 13 spots in that number 12 car, up to the 11th position.
Yeah, and again, some interesting action here going on after the flag. I believe that's not the first of contact we've seen between Simmelman and Weaver there. It's pretty similar, though, kind of getting checked up there on the high side in turns 3 and 4, and I guess not able to slow down in time. They're going to be able to keep it going straight, though. We're going to restart here with 6 laps to go. Chris Brenner sitting up front. He's led every lap of this feature thus far, and I think he's done a masterful job here. Was the fastest car on the track here, so that shows you track position is king. Let's see if he can hold it down. We're coming to green. 6 laps to go. Green flag is out. Brenner gets a launch into turn number 1. Cooper right behind him, though. He's going to go for the slide job in turn number 1. Not able to do it. However, that battle for 3rd and for the lead still raging on.
Yeah, Cooper really squarely coming out of turn number 2 that time. He's definitely making that bottom line work. Caution comes out. Still going to have 6 laps on the board. Who is the culprit for that one?
Trying to look through the field. It looks like the 310 of Anthony Morano going to get the bad end of that one. He's sitting broadside here in turn number 2. Another wreck in the back, but like you said, Wes, not going to take a lap off the board since green flag laps is how we're going to end this thing. So we're going to still have 6 laps to go. Probably not what Chris Brenner wants to hear.
No, probably not. Was thoroughly impressed with that green flag run we had right there, but of course cautions do end up breeding cautions, so see if we can't finish this one out in this next run or not. No positions exchanged in that top 5 during that run, but yeah, pretty much everybody is still where they were on that last restart. So still 6 laps to go at the green flag for Chris Brenner. Can he pull off the win? Can Cooper time this restart perfectly and try and get around that 70 car? We are about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Lights still on the pace car. 1 more lap of pace, and then we unleash these 360 sprint cars around the Williams Grove Speedway for hopefully the final time tonight.
Well, Wes, do you think it's going to be the final time tonight?
A man can always dream.
That's very true. So we can always dream that it's going to work out. Not entirely sure what's going to happen here. You have a whole host of guys. The top 3 guys all started in the top 3 on the grid, and then you look back through the top 10. David Heileman running up from the 18th spot. DJ Kilinowski started 13th. Ryan Gaunt in the 10th spot started 22nd. So you have a mix of guys who have been working their way through the field all night. Balance with some guys that have been favorited because of their track position. We'll see how they clash here. If they're able to make it to 5 to go, we'll see. Chris Brenner has the field again, and he can start it whenever he likes, and he wants to do it now. Green flag back in the air at Williams Grove. He and Cooper both get an equal launch going into turn 1. Cooper going to ride in the bottom.
Yeah, back to the bottom goes that white number 35 car, the 70 car, still out front. He's got a couple of car links separating them. Newhoffen going to throw the slider on that 211 of Smolders. Newhoffen up to 3rd position. Smolders crosses him back over, and the battle is on for the race lead as well. Cooper, he's there. Can Brenner hold him off here for these last couple of laps? 5 left to go. Cooper, he's on the inside. Battle is on for the race lead.
It is Cooper diving it back down to the bottom, trying to make it work. Not able to slide off of turn number 4 as he liked. Brenner will maintain the lead. 5 laps to go. Cooper again trying the bottom like he's been all night. Able to have kind of equal momentum with Brenner, but Brenner still working the high side into 3.
I got to tell you, behind him as well, Heileman, he's putting on a great show in that 22. He was fighting there with Newhoffen and the 211, 3 wide for a couple of corners, but Cooper still trying to make that bottom side work. 3 laps to go last time by. Coming out of turn number 4, the 70 car will get the 2 to go signal, and 8 more corners left to go for Brenner to win here.
2 laps to go, and again, lap time separated by just 1/10 of a second, but we're going to have to hold that off. A caution flag has come back over the Williams Grove Speedway. Going to have to look back in the field and find out where that happened, but with 2 laps to go, probably not what Chris Brenner wanted to see. He had the advantage, and now Cooper, though, he has to worry about getting a good restart. We're still going to have 2 to go when we come back to the green flag.
And that was between the 12 car and the 07. That's 07. Howard Weaver and Alex Bergeron get together coming out of turn number 4. Both of them are still able to keep going in the right direction, but that takes out, I don't see who that is. That is the 421. A Trappist Kolthoff got caught up in it and ended up capsizing in that 421 car. So still 2 laps to go. Weaver going to get the EOL for that exchange. And Bergeron now into the top 10 for the first time tonight. He doesn't have enough time to get up here and get the win. But these 2 guys up here, Brenner, he's got to have a restart of a lifetime here. Cooper has got to do the same thing. Actually, he needs to judge it a little bit quicker than that 70 car does. He's seen where Brenner has been restarting here all night so far. He's been sitting back there right behind him. So if Cooper could just time this just right, he might have a chance to pull away with the victory here.
He just might, but also you never know. If you're back there in the 8th, 9th, 10th spot, you can get some help here. Again, if we get a wreck into turn number 1, it's as if the lap never happened. We're just going to adjust where these guys restarts, and obviously the guys with wrecked cars won't be able to get back in their spots, so we'll just have to see how the field wants to take it here. We've seen a lot of wrecks in the back of this field, and it obviously can affect the battle up front here between Chris Brenner, Nick Cooper, and now Cole Newhoffen, who's in the 3rd spot.
He can't count out that 22 either. He's been driven his way through the field, up 14 spots on the field here tonight. Of course, Bergeron up 16 right now from 24th to 8th. So here we go for what could be the final time tonight. Green flag is out. The 70 down and away. Gets a good jump over Nick Cooper. I think that's going to put the nail in the coffin for that 35 as they head off into turn 1. 2 laps to go.
All it takes is a great run here from Cooper. Looks like they launch off the corner pretty equal, though. Brenner taking advantage of the high side going into turn number 3. Cooper on the bottom, Brenner on the high side. White flag out at Williams Grove.
4 more corners for this 70 car. Cooper here at Williams Grove.
Well, there you have it, folks. Chris Brenner, driver of the number 70, is going to victory lane. He led this thing from start to finish, started in the 1st spot, and never relinquished that lead. However, a great battle, great effort there from Nick Cooper. It was great to see the differing battle there. Obviously, Brenner on the top side and Nick Cooper on the bottom. But again, congratulations, Chris Brenner, your winner at Williams Grove. Or is he?
Hold on. I believe we were coming to the stripe, but I believe a caution flag just flew right before the drivers got to the start and finish line. So it's not over, folks. It's not over in the least bit. We still have 1 more lap to go. So Cooper has another shot here. Unreal.
Well, I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go back in the replay and see what we have here. I'm gonna try to see when the caution lights were out on the pace car. That's really the best indicator of when this caution flag came out. And man, oh man, was it close. Chris Brenner thinking he had this thing in the bag, and I mean, he was a couple hundred feet. He was coming off of turn number 4 when the pace car lights came on. So, wow, real turn of events here. Again, a missed call by us, but Chris Brenner, man, he's got to be upset. It was right in his grasp, and I guess it doesn't matter if the white flag is out.
Yeah, well, we're gonna re-rack him up. Nick Cooper, though, he's got to do better than he did last time. 1 lap to go at the green flag. We will finish this under green flag conditions for you folks. And Chris Brenner, probably going to have to say it again, but he has got this in the bag as long as he gets a great jump on this start. Cooper stalking him now. Green flag back out at Williams Grove. 1 more lap to go. Chris Brenner at the white flag for the final time tonight, going through turns 1 and 2. Cooper now on the high side. He's got a good run off of turn number 2. Can he do it? The 70 car back to the high side. Cooper's going to try to slide her. He slides in front of them. Caution comes out. They touch. Who's going to get the lead here?
I believe when the caution flag came out, because of the slide job, that's going to put Nick Cooper up into the first spot. I believe my eyes don't deceive me. I can go back here on the replay and again see when the caution lights came out on the pace car. And I know maybe this isn't the angle you're seeing, but looking on the track, Nick Cooper was in first. So I believe that is going to put him in charge of this field. I might be wrong, but I really think that's how they should line up if that's exactly when the caution came out.
Well, it doesn't look like that's the case. I believe the 70 car was told by iRacing to get back around that 35, so they may have went back to the previous scoring loop. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I mean, what a job from that 35 car. He knows what he needs to do now. Great restart, follow that 70 into turn number 1, and then just let it all hang out and try and get that slide job executed on that 70. So, oh, man, I'm running out of, I might have to get an oxygen tank or something, man. I'm running out of breath.
Yeah, I guess so. Again, I'm just kind of confused here. I thought that Cooper, when the yellow flag came out, and again, you're right, they maybe went back to a timing loop or something in the iRacing software, but at the time of the caution, just being a courtesy of, I guess, just proper timing and Cooper pulling the slide job, Cooper was out in front of Brenner, so a little bit confused here on what they're using to go off of that, but nevertheless, Chris Brenner, again, had the race right in front of him before his eyes, and now you have Cooper, who, without that caution, may have had a chance to have a drag race to the line, but we're going to go after it again, and I'm sure these drivers just want this thing to be over as long as they're the ones out front.
All right, well, we're going to do it again, folks. Chris Brenner still out in front. Nick Cooper, he knows what he needs to do now. Chris Brenner gets on the loud pedal. There he goes, the 35 car. He got a good enough jump. Can he follow him into turn 1 like he did last time? Definitely going to gain some momentum on that 70 car. He's a lot closer than he was last time. Caution again, come on.
And just when you want it, it's getting so good, but again, another battle in the back of the field. Going to put this thing under the yellow flag again. It looks like the culprit this time. I believe that's a 24 car spinning out there of Ryan Martin. Looks like looks like Alex Bergeron got into the inside wall entering turn 1, and that turned Ryan Martin around. So what is this, the 4th time we're going to rack him up and try to do it again? I don't know how many more times my heart can take Nick Cooper trying to run down Chris Brenner here.
It's getting to be a little bit on the ridiculous side here, folks. Just as soon as it picks up there on the backstretch, the caution flies again. This is going to be attempt number 4 at a white checkered for the end of this race. I mean, Brenner, his nerves have got to be tore up. Nick Cooper as well. You know, Newellhoff and Heilemann, they're just looking for a mistake out of both of these drivers and try and steal this checker flag away from these two front runners here tonight. But Brenner, I mean, if he pulls this off, man, he's definitely got nerves of steel.
And Wes, I actually just saw a comment there out in the chat box, and it brings up a great question. With all of these overtime starts, again, these guys put as little fuel in these cars as humanly possible. With all of these restarts, and obviously I think this is basically a 4th overtime, if you will, do you see fuel mileage coming into play?
I mean, it's possible. Unfortunately, during cautions here on the iRacing surface, fuel does not burn. So the caution laps are, kind of helping the guys who did put the minimal amount of fuel that they could possibly put into these cars. But I don't think it's going to be an issue here. We haven't seen fuel be an issue since the beginning of the season, back in February. So almost halfway through March now, 8 races later, I'm pretty sure everybody's done wised up and put enough fuel into these tanks. But can't say it won't happen once again here. Chris Brenner, that 70 car. Oh, Nick Cooper started right at the same time that he did. Let's keep it green here, folks. Green flag is out, white flag as well. Brenner throwing it into turn number 1 for what should be the final time tonight if I don't keep jinxing it. Cooper's got a good run coming down the backstretch, but I don't think he's gonna get there. Brenner takes it to the bottom. Cooper running that high side. Does he have enough momentum? Caution comes out again. Please.
That's
please.
all I know how to say. That sounds like Serena Williams on the Dell commercial. Just, You can say it again, Wes.
I need a tissue. I'm crying.
Man.
I'm crying. Oh, I'm slowly dying on the inside now. This is getting too much. Come on.
Chris Brenner fans, I'm sorry. This is heartbreaking right here. We're gonna have to rack him up for a 5th time. You really, again, none of these wrecks have originated at the front of the field. It's kind of a shame that these guys are just trying to finish a race and put on a show for these fans and really get the finish that they deserve, and yet just more contact at the back of the field is affecting what they're doing up here. We had Chris Brenner winning about 4 times. Nick Cooper, again, I still have a feeling he was in front. That one time he was close enough to throw a slide job, but again, if Chris Brenner talks to us in the booth and he's in the 2nd spot, can't imagine how fuming he is going to be.
Oh, I know. I mean, I would be right there with him if I was driving that 70 car right now. All right, we just got word from the officials. This is the last time we are going to do this. So for the final time tonight, lights are going to come off the pace car. We are going to declare a winner here in race number 8 in the Accelerated Sprint Car Series presented by the Dirt Collective. Chris Brenner, of course, that 70 car, still has command of the field. He dictates this restart. And Nick Cooper, he's got to have a better jump than he did the last 2 times and if he wants to have a shot at winning this race. As they pile into turns 3 and 4 for this restart, Brenner going to take the line on the high side as he has the whole night, and he is down and away. Great jump from Brenner. I think that's going to do it. Nick Cooper sideways coming off of turn number 2. A big gap for Chris Brenner in that 70 car. Now into turns 1 and 2 for the final time tonight. Heilemann on the bottom. He's going to go back to 4th. Cooper, not a chance in the world. Chris Brenner, the 70 car, out of turn number 4, going to take the checkered flag and the win here in race number 8.
And now we can finally correctly call it. The number 70 of Chris Brenner he's probably up 2nd on the all-time win list if all those checkered flags he collected today were to count. But nevertheless, I'm sure the biggest sigh of relief in the world was just uttered from his mouth there. Again, he finally gets it done. And Chris Brenner going to victory lane. Nick Cooper, however, gave him a great run. All of those restarts. Didn't get a great jump that last time, but he's able to hold on to 2nd. So it's finally over. Chris Brenner is your winner at Williams Grove.
Yeah, Cole Newhoffman brings it home in 3rd. David Heilemann in 4th. 5th goes to Kyle Scott. 6th, Ryan Gaunt, Howard Weaver, Kevin Loveys, Nicholas Parker, and Alex Bergeron round out your top 10. Then you got Josh Phillips, Dan Smolders, Drew Phillips, Ryan Martin, Anthony Moreno, DJ Kilinowski, Michael Sheridan, Trampus Koltoff, Austin Simmelman, Bill Aarons, Stephen Calavoda, Larry Moody, Nathan Painter, and Rocky Battenfield. Your 24 car field here tonight. And aren't we glad it's done? That was just painstakingly done right there. We're going to have to go and find a couple of these gentlemen. Let's see if we can't pull in Newhoffman first. If he's in here, doesn't look like he is. So And go ahead to second place in Nick Cooper, which there again, he is he's in there. There's Cole Newhoff. So yeah, let's go ahead and bring him into the booth. Driver of that number 8 car, Cole Newhoff, and you got a copy, bud?
Yes.
Well, you made a hard charge there towards the end to get back up to where those leaders were on that green flag run. A pretty decent night for that 8 car. Tell us how it was out there.
It was scary, honestly. I was just trying to finish the race, honestly. You never know when something's going to happen.
Well, sitting back there in third for the last couple of restarts, did you have a feeling that maybe something would happen between the top 2 runners there? Maybe you could have snuck a W out?
I mean, on that last restart, Nick Cooper kind of got sideways, and I thought maybe I could pass him on the outside, but he regained it and kept going.
Well, just a good solid day, got to say. Not sure how points are going to be looking or anything like that out of the next couple of weeks, but a good solid podium finish for that 8 car. So congratulations to you and your team. You got any thank yous, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Sim Speed Shop, Team Friday, Dirt Division, and Team VLR with all my teammates. They build great setups. It's fun to have them around.
All right, 10-4. Another congratulations goes out to that number 8, the driver, Cole Newhoffen. So now we're going to try and let's see if we can get a word in with second place. Blake, you got that?
Sure thing, buddy. Nick Cooper, this is Blake McCandless in the OCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Nick, it's finally over. How are you feeling after that one and after really just having to try and nail your restart over and over and over again?
Yeah, it was that was a struggle bus to say the least, but I couldn't find any moisture. I was restarted trying to get the moisture before Chris could, and I just could never get there to really get a run at him, except for that one restart. But all in all, it was a good race, and I wish I could have got to him again and maybe give him a run, but the bottom went away too much, and I couldn't do much of anything, so I just settled to finish second.
Yeah, it looks like you were utilizing that bottom line. You were pretty even with him looking at the lap chart coming up right before all those restarts. So I guess you favor the bottom around here, but do you think it wore away just a little bit too much there?
Yeah, I was going to probably bank and around the top, but I knew somebody missed the top once. It was going to be a wreck, as that one restart I saw. I was just kind of hoping that when I went to the bottom, something would happen, and sure enough, something happened, and I got to capitalize on it. So all in all, it was a good move, I think.
Well, good for you. You started in third, kept it up there all day, finishing up in second. Go ahead and hand the mic over to you. Thank whoever got you here for this podium finish.
I want to thank VLR, you guys in the booth, for the job that you guys do. It's always good to watch, fun to watch, and it's everybody that's a part of this broadcast and the league and everything.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick. Driver the number 35 brings it home second here at the Williams Grove Speedway in West. I believe you have caught up with a man who has probably sighed more in the last 5 minutes than any man in history. That's Chris Brenner.
Yeah, that is true. Now we have the winner of that race, Chris Brenner. You got to have felt such a relief come off your shoulders when they said that was the last time that we were going to do this.
Oh my God, you have no idea how stressful that was.
Well, I mean, especially that one time, Cooper, it must have been a scoring loop or something, because right as soon as the caution came out, he barely had his nose out in front of you, but you still retained the lead according to iRacing. So, I mean, you definitely had to feel had a pretty big sigh come out after that one. But I mean, just tell us how it was. Wire to wire, dominating performance out of the machine tonight. So, I mean, how was it out there? How was Williams Grove tonight?
That's my favorite track. I think it provides for a lot of good multi-lane competition there, and I'm sure you guys saw that a lot up in the booth. People running low and people trying high and trying to go through the middle and all that stuff. But I had a pretty decent lead at some point, maybe a second and a half, almost 2 seconds, and first yellow came out, and it was it's stressful from that time on because I didn't have that lead on Cooper like before, and he's probably the best driver out there right now. But I'm happy with getting a podium, let alone a win, so I can't complain about anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, big congratulations out to you and your team for that checkered flag. Again, like I said in my last one, not sure where points are gonna go or how they're gonna do that for the remainder of the season. But taking home a checkered flag here in this league has got to bring a sense of accomplishment to you and your team.
Yeah, for sure. VLR is, they're known for having the top talent out there. So if you can place well, you did a hell of a job. So I'm super pumped.
That's awesome. We can definitely hear that in your voice there, bud. Just had to take a little jab there. But hey, man, a dominating performance, an excellent night of racing out of your team. You got any thank yous, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go here?
Yeah, thanks Team VLR for putting on the show. You guys up in the booth for an awesome job. UW Motorsports teammates, can't thank them enough. Sponsors Colby Eye Paints, Next Gen Fabrication, and Ultimate Dirt TV for supporting us. Thanks again.
All right, 10-4. Congratulations once again goes to Chris Brenner in that machine. I've already exited out of service. I forgot what number he was. I think it was a 70 car. I'm not 100% sure, but just a great end to a great night of racing. The heats were great. The mains were awesome, and the feature did not disappoint, especially there at the end with 5 overtime restarts. But Blake, you got any final thoughts on tonight's festivities?
Well, it reminds me a little bit of an old Billy Mays commercial where he says, "Wait, there's more." And he said it about 5 times, but I'm sure the fans out there enjoyed it. I know we did in the booth. It was stressful. It was frustrating. Going a little bit bald after I pulled some hair out, but I think we finally got it going, and at least Chris Brenner won the race. I think he was a deserving winner, and it would have been really tough if he wasn't able to take that checkered flag after that many restarts and being so close so many times.
Well, we're going to see y'all next week. It might be a new time. We still are not 100% sure. It may be 8, it may be 8:30 next Sunday for the 9th race of the X.celerated Sprint Car Series presented by the Dirt Collective. Next time you'll see us on the X.celerated Facebook page will be Wednesday night for the UMP Modified Series. And next time VLR will be on the track will be Tuesday night with OSRN. So one final thank you to our sponsors here tonight, of course, X.celerated and the Dirt Collective. Team Friday Fast for sponsoring the fastest lap. The Hard Charger Award tonight, presented by Dirt All Access. And the Kenny Wallace Dirt Racing Experience for sponsoring, as well as racingin.com, World of Dirt, St. Louis Dirt Track Racing, Magnolia Motor Speedway, and all of our affiliates listed at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Got to thank you fans for coming out and watching tonight, and we will see y'all on Wednesday for Modified Racing. So for Blake, Dylan, and myself, we are OCTV, and we are out. Thank you for watching.